What is up? What is up? 360 in the house. How are y'all doing? I see we got a decent crowd in here. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Somebody hit that you can hear me. Yes. No? Yes? All right, good, good. What's up, everybody? Hopefully everybody's doing good. I want to give a shout out to the one and only Nash. Everybody say hello to Nash. Without Nash, there'd be no 360 Trader. Thank you, my brother. You know I love you. Thanks for taking care of everything. Thanks for taking care of me. Before we begin, I forget this. I think I forgot this at least half of my videos. Our videos are sponsored by the great 4cmediaco.com. You need to follow them on Twitter at 4cmediaco. Hit up the website, get it in your favorites. If you want the latest and greatest in not just crypto, financial breaking news, but global, it's important that you are paying attention to global because there is as crypto progresses and saturation is achieved, there's a globality. Did you see that? Did you see what I did there? At first, I thought I made that word up, and somebody showed me on Wikipedia that it had already been made up. So I was really sad about that because I like globality. It sounds so amazing. So I can't take credit for the word globality, but there's as crypto matures and there's saturation. When I say saturation, I mean more and more people accepting it, coming into it, nations, states. Oh, banks. Yeah, Italy tried to slide one in. Italy tried to sneak one in, but apparently there was some leaked emails out, and what do you know? The largest bank in Italy grabbing 11 Bitcoin for their asset sheet. Boom! Look, they ain't the only ones. They just the only ones that got caught. Okay, they the only ones that got found out. So the proliferation of conglomerate accumulation of Bitcoin is undeniable. Undeniable. And actually, this is the week that I'm going to be releasing my, I've already released it to my elite. They've had it for a while. My inner circle, they have had it for a while, but I'm going to be releasing a pretty prolific document called The Future by 360. And it's just entertainment value, but it's my vision and my perspective on the evolution of crypto and finances over the next 4 or 5 years and into the 2028 cycle. That's coming out this week. 4C Media is going to be hosting it on their website. So once that comes out, we will release it to the masses. I'm really excited about that. It's about 3/4 done. I need to add a couple more things to it, but that should be, I'd love to have it to you by Friday. Yeah, if not, the weekend. So that's coming out. Very excited about that. What else did I need to cover before we get into crypto? Well, let's just go ahead and get into crypto. So did you guys notice? I know you did. Because we talk about this all the time. You guys noticed the last few days on the down days how much FUD and bad news that people are pointing at to say this is why. Y'all notice? Y'all notice, right? And then all of a sudden now we're getting bounced. Everything's going up and everybody's pointing to something good. See what I mean? That's called narrative. It's all hocus pocus. The dip in both legacy markets, that's stocks and other markets, and the dip in crypto markets were happening pretty much simultaneously, and it's due to price action, major resistance areas and levels that we've seen many times. So this is one of those things when I teach narrative about narrative and what it is and how to see through that to be able to determine what's exactly happening. It's right in front of you, like it's smacking you right in the face, like on the daily. And that is how it works. People will always point to something positive in the news and say, this is why stuff's going up. And then when stuff goes down, they'll point to something negative. Okay. Okay, if that's what you want to do. So anyway, let's go ahead and proceed. We're going to start with Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I am going to do a little some alts for you today. I am going to do a few. This is not necessarily an altcoin madness. You're welcome. Jillian, is it Gillian or Jillian? Man, I probably slaughtered that. If I slaughter your name, I apologize. It's not intentional. So anyway, we're going to talk just briefly. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because my last video that I did on YouTube was a market review, but I do want to touch Bitcoin real briefly and then Ethereum real briefly. And again, everybody loves the altcoin stuff, but everything swings from the pendulum that is Bitcoin and Ethereum. And of course, right now we're waiting for who to put on the crown and who to take the reins. Anybody? I know there's a delay. Ethereum. Thank you. Manuel's and Durple. What? On top of it, yes, we are waiting for Ethereum to take the reins. And it will, and it shall. And then the last 3/4 of the cycle. Yes, the last 3/4 of the cycle is coming. And that is what we're excited about. That is what we're waiting for. Some people just don't have the patience. You know, here's the thing. It's as if people forgot that crypto is inherently volatile. Like literally, why is it that this cycle? Why is it that this cycle, every time there's a pullback or a major or a corrective portion of the cycle, everybody acts like it's the top? Like, why? Also, everybody acts like it's the end, even though we already know there has been no cycle yet for Ethereum and altcoins. And I've demonstrated this to you time and time again. Time and time again, it's a matter of patience and letting the cycle be the cycle, for crying out loud. Remember, everybody wanted the earliest cycle, and there was a theory and a philosophy behind it, and being prepared for that was great. It never happened. Last cycle, everybody wanted an extended cycle in 2021, 2022. It didn't happen. So let the cycle be the cycle, and we just trust the data that is 360, and that is where I get my name from, because we have an unlimited perspective. We don't move with blinders. We are looking at everything we possibly can. Now that I bored you, let's go ahead and look at the charts. Give me a second to get this set up. Also, how about those Commanders? What? I don't know if we can beat Detroit on Saturday. I hope we can. I don't know if our defense is good enough this year, but I love what we've done. All right, here we go. Let me share screen. William, nobody likes you. Nobody likes you in the Lions. Nobody does. All right, hold on. Here we go. And boom. All right, let me move y'all over. No, why? Here we go. All right. We're just macro looking right now. So one of the things I can tell you, look at me for a minute. Look. If you guys would spend more time off Twitter and chartists, spend more time on the weekly charts, you'd have a lot less headaches. I'm going to say this again. If you are swayed, you're the kind that gets swayed by every naughty post on Twitter or every FOMO post on Twitter, the solution is to stay off of it or stop following the morons that keep posting that stuff so they can get likes. Yes, those things win likes. The more FOMO-y and funny you can be, the more like the tweet's going to be. But if it's giving you a headache, it's giving you heartburn, and you can't sleep at night, stop the madness. Stop the insanity. Relax. But you've got to stop that stuff. Okay? All right. Number one. Number two, if you're a chartist, start with the weekly. Okay. Some of you guys are not using the weekly charts as much as you should be. And when you do that, you can then re-energize, refocus, and see the bigger picture because you always work from outside in. Some of y'all will be starting with that telescope and you telescope and then you got heartburn and stuff and you forgot because this telescope is so finite. So you're looking at the hourly chart. And my gosh, if any of you guys are on like the 15-minute chart and a 5-minute chart, please stop. Please stop now. All right. You must begin from outer. That way, when you do go to the inner and you see the volatility, you can package it into where it belongs. Do you understand this? You can put it in the package that it belongs in instead of being like, oh, the cycle's over. You know, and all the crap that you see on Twitter, all the mumbo jumbo, all the sky is falling, you know, narrative hocus pocus. So anyway, all right, here we go. Yeah, we got to press because I've already been on here for 11 minutes. And I haven't said anything of value. Woo! So this is the macro chart that I have shared with, and I want to be very clear. This is the regular view. So look what I just did. Down here in the corner, there's a little wheel right here in the corner. That is where you can toggle views. And the ones I'm referring to are regular view and logarithmic view. So I want to be very clear. The view that I have right now on this from 2018. So we're looking at 3 cycles worth of data. This is the regular view, not the logarithmic. Okay. You can do this for both. But as far as the regular view goes, the 2-cycle channel, if you recall, now this is the weekly, but if you zoom in on the daily, there was a slight pause here. Yep. It's not going to show up on the weekly. But if you zoom in, this actually was resistance. And you can see it hold up as support. Magic! Look at this. 1 touch, 2 touch. The daily will show this as temporary resistance, but looky what's holding support. Ha! Look at that. Even the wick low, grabbing liquidity and pulling down, which you can zoom in, and that's a whole nother story. So these are very normal. They're very normal, despite what everybody's telling you. Even volume says it's very normal. By the way, if you go do a volume assessment, there's less spot selling, less profit taking here than there was here. Because this was the major climb, profit taking first half, reaccumulation second half. I taught a whole class on this. You can go back and look at other videos. Boom. There's actually less profit taking here than there was here. For all of you end of cycle dorks. Okay. There's just no distribution. All right. There's profit taking. There's a difference between profit taking and mass distribution. All right. But I wanted you to see these because I do want you to see these areas. And we've talked about them before. On the regular view, this actually hit almost to the T. It did at 108, which is where we said it would probably go. I said 108 to 110. Now, on the logarithmic view, this is actually going to be higher. So I said this first, but let's look at what happens logarithmically. And so what does logarithmic do? I'm going to, without giving you the math, logarithmic puts past history in the same perspective or size as current price, whereas regular fades the historical and brings out where you're at now. Does that make sense? That's why it looks so small on regular, and then all of a sudden you go to logarithmic and this looks as ferocious as this. So I want to show you why and where we believe this is going next. Yeah, see what happens now to the 3-cycle trend line. Yep. So here's touch 1. I'm going to bring this down. There we go. We're going to go 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap. So for me, before the cycle began, my estimations, and you can take it like with a grain of salt, my estimations was for Bitcoin's low to be 145K, my high to be 225K for the cycle. It's still too early to know. What I do know is this ain't it. Bitcoin always goes higher after it loses dominance. You understand that? Yep, always. So if you were to look at this right here, if this was a hit today, it ain't gonna, I'm just showing you by going straight up. This is 208. But what will happen is this will move and probably hit somewhere higher up, which easily gets you into the 200 to 250K area. What? So we're watching this, we're eyeballing this. And don't forget, when you move this to logarithmic, do not forget to move it back. It's very important that you move it back because it will skew all of your current, the stuff that you need for now, all of your trades, everything current. When you're zoomed in on current price action, you must be on regular because the lines that you draw for logarithmic will not even be coming close. As you can see, look what happened to that line when I went from logarithmic to regular. So there you have it. All right, let's real quick hit Ethereum. Ethereum has done pretty much exactly what we thought it was going to do. Let me give you a cleaner chart. That's my messy chart. Yeah. All right, up here, there is huge, just like Bitcoin had before it broke out of that 220-day massive descending profit taking consolidation. There's now huge external liquidity up here. This is what is going to be needed to propel, just like it did Bitcoin. Yep. This is what is going to be needed to propel Ethereum, because we got one tap, two tap, three tap. If you go onto the daily, this is a multiple tap top, double top, local double top. And now we're getting our next higher low. Yep, right here. This is Ethereum. This is a topping pattern. We did that last time. You remember? Topping pattern, bottoming pattern. I believe this is completing as we speak. For what? Thank you for asking. For what we know is coming. And this is going to not only come up here, retest, probably find resistance, higher low, boom! Explode through the external liquidity, hit the all-time high, maybe go above it, come back down, grab liquidity, and then off into the wild blue yonder, along with all of your altcoins. Well, most of them. All right. That was brief. I know that was brief, but if you go back into YouTube and watch some of the other ones, all of this is explained. Like I literally break this down with volume and everything. So you can understand the difference between the top and what applies down here and a bottom. Yeah. It ain't there. It ain't there. Why? Because Ethereum hadn't even gotten started yet. It's that simple. All right, we're gonna look at a couple alts. We're gonna look with one that is pushing highs, and that is CGPT, Chain GPT. This is the weekly chart here. You're getting some beautiful, this is the weekly. Again, start with the weekly so you can get a clear view. One tap. I am like the king of two-touch lines. If you go look and read educational resources on charting and all the people that think they know, they'll be like, two-touch lines are worthless. Two-touch, don't use them. Don't use them. How many times, where do you think a three-touch line comes from? A two-touch line. So to ignore a two-touch line, for me, is kind of dumb. Okay, now, do I put as much weight into a two-touch as I do a three-touch? Of course not, but I would say 80% of the time, my two-touch lines work like freaking magic. It's going to make you seem like a magician. So when they're like, two-touch lines, that's not a line. You can't, it's only got two touches. Get that crap out of here. Get it out of here, especially when it's long-term. So just on this alone, and based on how incredible CGPT has been this cycle, pushing into, it's getting ready to test what it achieved in March, which is that 54-cent area. So this bad boy is going to test the ATH very shortly. Once it breaks out of this area here, which is this price action jumble mumble. Once it breaks this, you're going to get a test of the ATH. Now, this is probably isn't going to break on first tap. Probably is not going to break on first tap. It's going to do some mess around. You're going to get higher lows, and then this is going to pop. For me, this is what I would project to be touched. Make sure you're on regular view. What I would project to be touched for end of cycle targets, potentially. Again, it's still early to say, but there we go. And let's move on to TEL. This is exactly the type of price action you want to see. And I'll show you why. Again, everybody talking about end of cycle. There's nothing on any of these charts that point to end of cycle in any way, shape, or form. Accumulation, 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 buying, impulse, move. There's just no capitulation selling. Is there some profit taking selling? Yeah, there is. But look what we got yet to come. And you can do this for everything. The real move, wherein escalation begins and doesn't stop on volume until you've hit the end. Or the Ethereum altcoin portion of the market. Have we entered it? No, we have not. How do we know? Because we have de-escalate. De-escalate. Do you see what I'm doing here? I'm literally giving you guys free training. Like, this is free. Once this begins, there'll be a steadying, but this will escalate to and through the end. And look how high we are already. This began way down here last time. This hasn't even started and we're way up here. And we have the February white swan still in the works. And if you don't know what that is, go look at TEL, find out what's coming up. And that is a potential announcement of what? A brick and mortar crypto bank sanctioned and approved and regulated and thumbs up by the United States of America? What? Absolute white swan potential. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I'll get a dozen to 50 dirty, nasty, glaring responses on Twitter if I don't do this. XRP. Again, this is incredible. All right. Note there's no messing around inside of here. This is price moving very quickly through this area. Very quickly, very quickly. This is all done in 3 weeks. In week one, push, FOMO high. Week two, week three begins the distribution. So there wasn't going to be any resistance once this level broke, and there wasn't. But now this is going to be chopped up. And let me show it to you now. Remember, open area. Open area. No resistance. You get a 2-week push to the high. You get profit taking pullback, reestablish a new foundation. Boop. Above last year's high. Major buying off of support. XRP is preparing for a test of the wick high and then blue skies. That's right. Deep into the 4s, possibly 5 and higher as the cycle goes on. You cannot unsee this stuff. Price action is price action. This is handling this price action zone, which has never been handled. This is not handling a price action zone. This is running through it. Now, it's being handled. Why? It's called price action foundation construction. By eating and chopping in this area and dealing with all of these prices, you establish a foundation from which to propel into the wild blue yonder. Simple. You don't need MACD. You just don't need it. You don't need your 1,000 indicators. You just don't. We're doing all of this on the weekly charts. All right, Doji. Oh, look at the dancing. I love that, man. I love that. Again, look what is holding up and establishing a firm foundation. Dogecoin. Very similar to what we're seeing with, let me open this up for you. XRP. What? Uh-huh. Eat up. All right. This is a major move. Of course you're going to have a pullback. This is the look. That's a 400% move. But so if you're pouting about this, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's a 400% move. Of course it's going to pull back. Eat up this area. Establish the new foundation. Then challenge the high. I want you to be able to see this stuff. Blue skies. Weekly chart. Look, Ma, no hands. This is what's coming. It's incredible. I want to point out an altcoin that I do believe is getting ready to go, because most of those have already gone. So you can buy XRP right now. It's in that foundation area. You can buy Dogecoin right now. It's in that foundation area. Everybody doing that has to buy the higher low. Do you understand what I'm saying? They don't have a choice. They're not going to get our entries. You're not going to get it. You have to. But there's a lot of altcoins that are still closer. Now, here's what's crazy about Velo, and this is not Velodrome Finance, so make sure you're looking at the right one. 360 Elite is already up 1,300% right here. This is now setting in a high and tight. This is called a high and tight. On the weekly, you can see it on the weekly. Getting ready to push to 0.05 next, followed by 0.07. I'm going to zoom in on the daily so you can see the price action. Yep. So you have, from the low, a 255% move. Enter your, watch this, this is very important. Enter your profit taking plus reaccumulation. And based on the green, there's profit taking here, but all of this is reaccumulation. And I love the bottoming pattern here. This is a bottoming pattern, and now you're getting what I call a high and tight. So this is the high and tight. So number one thing we like, many taps on the door. Ooh, a liquidity grab. By the way, when you get these, it sets this up to go ahead and push through. Once it breaks, again, because it's already got a liquidity grab, it sets this up the rocket. You everybody got that? It's because of this. Woo! Let me give it to you. I know, this is long. Nash is going to be so mad. This is such a long video. Sorry, Nash. Liquidity grab, knock, knock, knock. all kinds of knocks, higher lows, volume showing, accumulation. I think this is set to go very, very soon. Very soon. All right, I wanted to do a couple more, but I have been talking forever. And oh my gosh, I've been talking for 31 minutes. I'm so sorry. We're going to do this again in 2 days. 2 days. And then I'll try to concentrate more on altcoins, and I'll bring in a bunch more that we didn't cover this time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, baby. Here comes the boom.